Oh,
Oh,
need to point
well,
that down.
yeah,
A little
no, it
too
was
much
good.
ceiling fan.
That was a good angle, dude. I like the fan. It was very symbolic. It was like Angel Heart. I like it.
Huh?
I like it. Oh, dude, I can't tell you about Angel Heart. Hey, welcome to Something Stony. I'm Jimmy O, and this is Justin Butts, the JB, the base god.
JB the Bass God. Or,
What the fuck is that?
I thought you would never ask. So, this is actually for all the real ones out there. This is a reference to Lil B, the Bass God, the rapper.
Um,
Um, so based, there was an interview where Lil B was asked, "What does bass mean?" And his definition, or the way he uses it and associates it with himself, is based means being yourself, not being scared of what people think about you, or not being afraid of like what you want to do, being positive. So it says here he when he was growing up, based was a negative term. It meant like a dope head or a bass head,
oh,
like
okay, yeah,
freebasing or something. But
sure.
he decided he put his own spin on it. So now it's like based means like, sort of like grounded. So it's like you're yourself, you're real, you know, you're not afraid to express yourself.
Hmm.
Sometimes you just got to wear a fucking Fruity Pebbles hoodie.
I like the hoodie. I like it a lot.
It's nice. It's a shame
Yeah,
it's too
no,
short now.
yeah, you mentioned you washed it once and it gets too short. That, God damn it, why do
That'll
you people
happen.
do that? Why? Don't make
Dude,
clothes that do that.
shirts and especially anything long sleeve or a hoodie is such a
Mhm.
gamble.
Yeah, yeah. No, I got a Willie Nelson jacket when I saw him play, and I that one's been really great. I didn't have any shrinkage. Wow, that sounded weird. But it's like I hate when you get like that. I got a couple shirts that I fucking love. I love those.
Jimmy O, the shrink god.
I'm the shrink god. I'm Jimmy fucking O, man. I
Ew.
uh I had a celebrity sighting today.
A sighting or an
A
encounter?
sighting. A side No interview. I've been still Mr. Mom. I haven't really started working until next week, but
Have you been making any more meals?
dude, so much.
Really?
So yeah, no, it's been nice. So today I made this taco mix, this meat where you kind of cook the taco in with vegetables and you like make it all like all like, what, like when you go into a restaurant and it has a like kind of juicy wet kind of, it doesn't look like chicken, it looks like just mush, but it's really
Uh,
good. I made that and it was pretty
okay.
tasty. And I
Okay.
made homemade french
Oh,
fries.
wait, very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Now, homemade, you mean you sliced up potatoes?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I It's weird because my relationship with cooking is, I think now that, and I've said this on the show before, I don't have that kind of relationship with food I had before. Now I literally look at food as sustenance. That's it. No,
That's
like
good.
every so often you'll have something that like, I crave that, or very rarely, but I do get that. But I'm pretty satisfied with just whatever, just eating slightly healthy, whatever. But I will say it's weirdly made me more excited about cooking because I don't know why. I just feel less pressure.
Oh, yeah.
If that makes sense. Like I'm just gonna make something and see what happens. And it's been, dude, yeah, I've been making. I told you I made the sirloin dish last week, which was
Yeah.
great. I mean, I took a little time off this week because this week was another fucking nightmare. My wife went back to the hospital.
Mhm.
It was not a great week.
So what happened? Like, how did that come about?
It Simplest way to describe it would be they let her out too early last time. It was simply that they missed something. They missed something that was going on that was kind of,
Hmm.
important. But
Important. Yeah.
it's funny because like I'm not it wasn't a situation where like, oh gosh, what losers, what idiots. I It's a great hospital, it's a great fucking I there's very good people that work there, and so it was just one of those things. It just they didn't get it. They didn't. It didn't. It didn't wasn't complete. Her stay wasn't complete, so she went back in. The hardest part again was the first couple of days when you're like, "What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Why are we doing this again, dude? 2022 can fuck off at
Yeah.
this point." So yeah, it was a week of that, and but she back home. I'm feeling a little bit more like I'm excited to get back to work. Going to be going back to work next week, slowly but surely. I've got some interviews lined up. I'm pretty excited. Nothing major yet, but I get to talk to someone I'm a huge fan of, and I don't know why. I love Boyd Holbrook, so I get to talk to him. He's got a movie coming out, so yeah.
Who's the celebrity sighting?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. So, I went to Denny's because Saturdays are Denny's night. You gotta do the Denny's. Love Denny's.
You
I,
and
I
your
love
Denny's.
I love one single Denny's. That's it. I don't like all the Denny's, just one in
Oh,
Burbank.
interesting.
It's great because it has fuck it. I'll give her a shout out. It has the best waitress, the server, or whatever you want to call her. She's at the Denny's, and she's one of the coolest people. Awesome, great service, really friendly. Literally everyone that walks in there loves her because she's just really cool. So hey D, shout out, you rock at Denny's. So I pull up, and for some of you who aren't in LA, you may not. This may mean nothing to you, but Justin, you've been here a bit. You've been here a
Sure.
few years. So I pull in, there's that pink Corvette with Angeline on, on the license plate. Do you know who Angeline is? Now, okay, I'm going to show you Angeline because I think so. If you've ever lived in, this, I don't really know how to describe this woman. Unless you're in LA, it's she was a billboard. That's what she was. Like in the 80s, I guess they had billboards all over with very large busted woman, big blonde hair. She was in a couple of movies. She did like cameos in a couple movies, but she's still doing the thing. She's still fucking driving this I think it's a Corvette. I could be wrong about that, but I think it's a Corvette. She drives that thing around. It's got her little, you can always see her in Burbank. If you're driving, just look for that pink Corvette, the big white blonde hair with pink stripes all over. That's Angeline. And so I was like, oh my God, this is a chance in a lifetime. So like I went in to get my
She
Denny's.
just stopped. She just stopped at the Denny's.
She stopped at the Denny's. And I don't eat in the Denny's. I get my food, I take it home because I fuck eating in restaurants right now. I'm not in the mood. So I go in, I see I'm like, holy shit. This is it was my first face to face. I mean, obviously I'm not going to go up and, hey, how you doing? What you doing? What you eating? I didn't do that because I didn't really care that much. And
That'd have been cool.
it would have been interesting, but like,
Yeah.
it was really actually kind of weird to, yeah, walk in because I knew of her as a kid because when I would come out here to visit as a child, they had that big fucking, I think they still have them a couple places. I think she still has the big billboards. It's just this huge body shot of her like with glasses and doing doing duck lips before they were like, do people still do duck lips? Is that still a thing?
I think so, but it's definitely played out. Find
Yeah.
some. I mean, it's not good in the first place, but find something else
Yeah, it would
at
be
this point.
but with that said, it was yeah, it was kind of cool, man. It was one of those it's not that like she actually the irony, remember the recall they tried to have with to remove Gavin Newsom here?
Yeah.
She was running. She was one of the people. So I mean, if you want to know how crazy that fucking election ridiculous that was, yeah, she was one of the people running, and but it was kind of cool. was kind of cool to see her, and we made eye contact for like 2 seconds. But I'm like, I don't really want to bother this person. I don't really want to talk to this
So you didn't
person.
say anything?
No, they were eating. That's a rule for me. Like if you see a celebrity and they're in a restaurant or in they're a place where they're there to, whether it's relax or even sometimes even movies, um, I'm not going to approach them. I just think it's kind of like, yeah, that's their time. Let them have their time.
Yeah.
I think I did it one time with just because I had interviewed him before. Oh gosh, what's his name from Step Brothers? Not Will Ferrell, but
John C.
John C.
Riley.
Riley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had interviewed him,
He's
and
hilarious.
he's
Love John C.
actually
Riley.
a serious guy, very serious, very friendly, very sweet
Well, I
guy.
mean, he's had a number of like dramatic roles, and he does well with those too.
Oh, he's a brilliant dramatic actor. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I remember running into him and his family at a Carney's, and I literally just interviewed him like a week before. So I kind of said hi, and that was about it. But
That's fine. I mean, there's context to that.
yeah, but to be fair though, there was a part of me that like, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Even then, I
Mm.
was like, yeah, he's with his kids. I'm not gonna bother him,
Yeah.
you know. But it was still, I mean, I don't like to do that, but it was very weird to see her. It was a very LA moment to see Angeline at a dance.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and honestly, like as crazy and frustrating as this city can be,
Mhm.
it's moments like that that sort of bring you back to the magic.
Yeah,
You know, and you're like,
absolutely.
oh yeah, this is why it's awesome to live here. You know, or at least
Absolutely.
one of the reasons why it's awesome to live here. But I didn't have an encounter or a sighting, but I did find out a fun fact. Speaking of celebrities,
Oh, gush.
so Gush,
Gush. That's
Gush.
my new word, by the way.
So
Gush. Gosh, good.
yeah, Jimmy the Gush God,
Gush God, the gush God. Can I change that? No, just kidding.
Jimmy O the Gush God. Um, so last I think it was last Friday,
Mhm.
the day after my birthday, I went to go see Tom Segura at the Wiltern,
Mhm.
which is like in kind of like Koreatown. Um, but so Tom Segura did two shows, like or two nights, the fourth and the fifth, and he did two shows each on those nights. But he's posting about the shows and him backstage and blah blah blah, like all these different shows, and he posts about his shows in the Wiltern, and he's backstage with Brad Pitt came to his show.
Oh
Yeah, I remember.
wow.
Yeah, I've heard him talk about on his podcast about how he's heard rumors that Brad Pitt is a fan, which apparently he is because he was at one of the shows in the Wiltern. Now I don't know because the shows like there's a 7 p.m. and there's a 9:30 p.m. but like the crossover is like immediate, like
Mhm.
that turnover.
Yeah.
So you're kind of all there at the same time anyway. So I depending on which night Brad Pitt showed up at, there is really honestly a 50-50 chance that I was in the same building as Brad Pitt.
You
And
probably were.
that's pretty awesome.
That's very
That's pretty
awesome.
awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
That's one of the beauties of seeing a show in LA is that you never know who's going to be in the audience.
Yeah.
Never know. You can, if you get, especially if you have great seats, you're going to be, there's a very good chance you'll see, especially if it's someone huge. Like I remember seeing Alanis Morissette. Dude, there were so many people at that show. So many people because it was a big show. It was,
Mm.
and everyone wanted to go see a concert. It was a great fucking concert too. I gotta, as someone who was a I like Alanis. She's cool enough, and I became a bigger fan after seeing her in concert because she is a tremendous show.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
You know,
concerts will do that to you.
they can, yeah, or they'll give the complete opposite, and you'll be like, oh my god, I remember seeing. I went to see. Remember that band Fun? Do you remember?
Oh
tonight.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That
Okay,
that.
yeah.
So I went to see them, and it was, to be honest, I went because Tegan and Sarah were opening, and I'm a big Tegan and Sarah fan, and so it was like I was kind of excited. I was like, they have a few good songs. I'm down. I'm into it. And I went, and Tegan and Sarah were awesome. They always are. They're really reliable, and they got a nice energy and fun to watch. So Fun comes on, and I swear to God, at one point he started screaming at the audience, "Why aren't you singing along? Why aren't you like?"
Oh no.
It wasn't one of those like a fake. He seemed genuinely pissed off that people weren't singing his songs. It just, I thought he was a douche. I was like, I'm
Yeah,
not.
you got one song. Let's be clear.
They
You
they
got
no,
one
they had like
song.
two. They had two or three songs that made. They had that "We Were Young" song, and then they had some other song that had
Mm-hmm.
a
Exactly.
name.
Yep. That's how
Yeah,
many other songs he had.
yeah, that was their song.
And
Yeah,
like whatever. Like it's I'm not shitting. Like like what the fuck have I done? I'm not gonna shit on him,
yeah.
on them,
Look, a
whoever. I
one
don't
hit
know.
wonder can bring in fucking a lot of money.
Oh
You can
yeah.
make a decent amount of dough on
That's
that. So
kind of
hey,
yeah. That's kind of all you need, and especially now that nostalgia is like
oh my god,
everywhere. Like
ridiculous.
everybody that burnt out has a flourishing career again because like people just want everything old. I think because times keep getting progressively harder,
Hmm.
we're just attached more and more to things to the past. And so
Yeah.
now it brings us more comfort to I mean there's a new Jackass movie in theaters. Like it's the fucking 90s or early 2000s again.
Well, dude, here's this. The past few months, obviously, movies aren't making the money they did. They just aren't because we're still in a pandemic. People, I know there's a lot of people that would rather forget that. Hey, I would too. But we're still in a kind of a weird time. The only movies making money, dude. Spider-Man, a sequel. Scream, a sequel. Jackass, a sequel. That's it.
Yeah.
Sequels are make original content. No, fuck you. We don't need original content. And that that's honestly, that does piss me off a little bit because like here's the thing. Hollywood's going to make the movies that sell, right? They're going to make
Yeah.
stuff because it's a business. Ultimately, it is a
Yeah.
business. They need to sell a movie. I think audiences have a little bit to blame in if that's all you're going to go see, if you're not singing the original,
Well, yeah. Yeah.
that's what they're going to make. Nightmare Alley with the new one from Del Toro, wonderful movie. And I'm hoping the Oscar nominations it got because
I think that's on streaming now.
it is on streaming. I hope people watch
Yeah.
it. It's a good movie. It's a really good movie.
How do you feel about the Oscars? I have people that I work with, friends and whatnot that still follow it and they're like looking up who all the nominees are and I
Hmm.
just don't care. And plus
I
all the nominees don't really sound good. I
no,
don't not all of them obviously, but like I
yeah.
and of course I haven't seen half of this shit, but I don't want to either.
No, they're all good nominations. There's a lot of good movies are nominated. Dune is nominated. Coda is nominated. Is a really wonderful movie. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't. It's hard to look, and I don't want to diss the Oscars too much because I do think. Look, if imagine this, man. Say like you make a movie and you're working with whatever, you work with Del Toro on a great. I love Guillermo Del Toro. Hey Guillermo, you were amazing. I love you.
Hey
Um,
Gamma.
Guillermo, one of the nicest guys in the world, by the way. Oh my
Gamma.
fucking
Ay
god.
ay ay Gamma.
Yeah. He's
That's you.
so sweet. He once had a conversation with my kid about mariachi bands, and he was like, "No, no, 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 no. A real mariachi band doesn't have an accordion." He was explaining this to like
Interesting.
it was really cool, and because of course Guillermo has played mariachi music because he's a goddamn genius. But I've got a big heart on for Guillermo. I think he's amazing. But I don't even know where I was going with that. No, I just don't really.
I I like I like the Oscars. I like that they're a thing.
Mhm,
They're one of those things. It's like old school Hollywood. It's like it's
mhm.
like the charm, the magic. It's that's and especially as an actor, like that's what
Yeah.
you dream of. Like even though it doesn't mean anything, it doesn't.
It means that if you made the movie, if your movie's
Sure,
up there
sure, but I
nominated,
mean,
sure, I get
ultimately,
it.
especially in the age of the internet, like it's not as career setting as it used to be. You know what I
No, I
mean?
don't
Like it
think
used to
so.
be like if you're a winner or even a nominee, a previous nominee, then it's like, okay, you got some stripes. But that's still what it means now. But I mean, as far as the longevity of your career, it doesn't carry that much weight to it. I don't think.
Well, there's that whole idea that like you still have to follow it up. Like if you win an Oscar, you got to be real careful what you put out next. And a lot of people like I remember Catwoman came after Halle Berry won an Oscar for Monsters Ball. So it was like, ugh, but I mean, she's still around. She's a talented lady. She's cool. Um, but I do think there is some kind of it's hard for me to care. It's hard. I don't really care. I don't
Yeah,
watch the Oscars. I don't
yeah,
watch
and I feel like the audience for it is down to just movie buffs and these like aspiring actors and like people who are real movie nerds about it, because I feel like a general audience is starting to more and more as time goes on sort of fall
Yeah,
off.
I mean, people still watch it. People that
Sure.
aren't actors and aren't in the business still watch it. But what's funny though to me? It's like one of the weirdest complaints the Oscars get, and the Oscars today they're too political. People getting their political. They've always been like that, literally from the
Yeah.
very beginning. Marlon Brando was doing that shit. I mean, I guarantee you, if like some of these people were like, if Scott Baio were coming out on stage and going, I'm big on the conservative. We need,
Well, and
they'd be celebrating that.
especially especially what they've been doing lately, they get like stand-up comedians to host and they're just
Yeah,
like shitting on all the actors, like it's so it's
I
it
like when Ricky Gervais.
oh, he's great.
I haven't watched the Oscars in since I believe since Return of the King won Best Picture. That's the last time I watched the Oscars, and it was I just stopped. I just stopped caring because it was one of those things where I could look out online who's winning. I
Yeah.
look and I'm also a part of a critics group. I'm part of the Hollywood Critics Association where we actually get to vote and I feel like I love that because we really we see everything. We try to see everything and we try to really step outside the box and not nominate like, oh well, of course the power of the dog and of course, Belfast. Although Belfast is a fucking great movie. Oh my fucking god, I love that movie. But like I feel like the critics groups and stuff like that. I think they have a little more heart to them, and like the Indie Spirit Awards, but I just ultimately I care about the one I vote on. That's what I care about, just
Yeah.
because I want to try and give it a cool.
Yeah, who you voting on for the old Super Bowl?
I've never watched the Super Bowl in my life ever.
Who you placing your bets on? Have you ever been to
I
a
don't
Super
know
Bowl
who's
party?
playing. I have
I
no
used
idea.
to I used to just like, I mean, I've never really actually cared about the Super Bowl except for when the Bears were in the Super Bowl in
The Bears,
2007.
the
They made
Bears.
it to the Super Bowl and then they choked. But and it would have been the 90 20th anniversary since they won the Super Bowl the last time. Like it would have been like on the exact, so it would have been like a big deal, and they choked. But
Wow.
that's fine. Um, but I used to enjoy going to Super Bowl parties just because it's usually a good time,
Yeah, I can see that.
And
Yeah.
that was also back when like, um, when the internet wasn't quite what it is now, so. You would like at least watch for the commercials instead of just
Mhm.
looking them up all on YouTube. You'd
Yeah,
actually
you
like
can
sit
watch
and
them all
watch for the
easily now.
commercials.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that it was fun, but I mean, I don't. No, I still don't care. By the way, it is the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah, no, I did
So
know
so
we were.
LA is getting pretty hyped about this Super Bowl.
I guess we are. I feel like I partially because of my situation. I've been in a bubble, so I haven't felt it. I haven't felt it at all.
Even though the Rams have only been an LA team for the last 6 years. Before that, they were a St. Louis team.
Well,
And then before that, they
didn't
were
they
a San
start?
Diego team.
Yeah, they started in California, right?
Yeah.
I don't know
They
anything
started in
about
California,
football.
yes. And then there was about a 20-year gap where they belonged to St. Louis.
Hmm.
And then, but they weren't LA, they were San Diego. But I mean, that
Yeah.
was still like the LA team.
So now they're the
Um,
actual
but now
LA.
and now it's actually Los Angeles Rams.
Dude,
So
I completely
people are
forgot
getting
about that.
pretty pumped. It's okay. I had to Wikipedia it to get all those facts straight anyway.
You did a good job, though. I'm impressed. I'm very
Thanks.
impressed.
Thanks.
Look,
I do
I
like
don't,
football, but I don't follow it at all.
yeah, and I don't begrudge it. Like, I'm not a fan of football. It's not my thing, and I don't. I like people. I like seeing people get excited over shit. I do, and I,
That is fun. Yeah, that
that's
is
always
fun.
like okay. So when I was in Texas, for for some event, I forgot what it was. There's this big game, like a big huge game. It was probably Super Bowl or something like that, and it was
Are you sure it wasn't like a Longhorns game? Dude, Texas is a big football state.
it was, but it was the Dallas Cowboys they were playing.
Oh, okay. Then
Yeah,
yeah.
and
Okay.
so it was this big, and I admit, full. This is the only time I've ever watched part of the game. I was stuck at the airport, and I was just kind of watching the people around me, just getting so enraptured in the game and getting so excited. And I was like, "That's kind of cool. I like that." And I started watching it a little bit. And I was like, "Okay, I get the appeal for sure, 100%." I just, I don't know. I don't care. It's not my thing.
Yeah. I
Not
mean,
everything has to be fun for me.
sure. It is fun to get caught up in like
Yeah.
the hype of like that moment. I mean, even during the playoffs in the NFL this year, at the gym, because every Sunday they have football on the at the gym, and there was like a bunch of dudes, bunch of bros hanging around the. It was Kansas City Chiefs and I think it was the 49ers.
Mm.
And then the 49ers lost, and then um but yeah, and just to see people kind of, and there's people it's just like they're at the gym and they're acting like they're at home on their couch. But it's fun though.
That's
It's
fun.
still kind
Yeah.
of fun.
It's fun to let loose once in a while. It's fun to like. I'm talking positive shit. Like I'm not talking these assholes who like. I think a big reason I don't like sports is when I was a kid, I went to a game. Right, I think it was a baseball game, like a World Series playoff type of thing. And I remember being a kid thinking I wasn't too interested in the game, but I was like, "Oh, that's kind of exciting." And literally, I saw just people fighting with each other, and there was this
Yeah.
massive fight, and I'm just like, "You guys are fucking
Yeah.
stupid." Like,
Especially when you get to like the professional leagues, like
mhm.
it's so the nice thing is to go to like oh like
Oops, in my camera too.
we would go see in Illinois, we would go see the Peoria Rivermen. I think that was the baseball team, but it's like a local team. It's like
Peoria
it's still
Rivermen.
it's still a big game, big field, with the stands and everything, and and there's beer and hot dogs. You can still have the experience, but it's not nearly as crowded, and people are like chill. I don't think it's the Rivermen.
I just when you said that, I keep
Rivermen is
thinking of
something.
like
Now I
soft
gotta know.
music, like really soft music, and then he was an old man. He was a fisherman. Like it sounds like an indie movie or some shit like that. Peoria fisherman. Are you looking it up? Find it. God damn it! I want to know who the Peoria fishermen are.
Is it the baseball?
Were you
The
looking
Rivermen is something.
the river?
It's
Oh
like
yeah,
something.
fishermen, not rivermen. Is it the river dance, or is that what you're thinking of? Is it do they do this?
Oh yeah. It's minor league. That's what
Oh,
I
okay,
meant to say.
okay.
It's minor league. Go to a minor league game. It's the Peoria Chiefs,
Peoria Chiefs. Okay, not the Rivermen.
not the Rivermen. What is the
I
Rivermen? Is it a hockey team? I think it's the hockey team in Peoria.
Okay, okay.
So that's the hockey team.
I
A little bit of local references for you. Hey, speaking of music and stuff, that we talked about that at one point. You know
Yeah,
who
we
I've been
did.
listening to
Who?
is Erica Badu.
Yeah, yeah. Really?
Oh my god.
How the fuck did you describe it? You better call Tyrone.
Oh my god, dude.
Help.
She's one of those people that I've always known about, but
Mhm.
never really took the time to actually, I'm ashamed to admit that um one of those people that I'd always known about. I know, what her music is like. I
Mhm.
just had never taken the time to sit down and listen to her. And the other morning, I was I was just like, I don't know, like making coffee, and I was like, let me put on some music. I pulled up Spotify, and there on the home screen, they did like there's like an enhanced version now of Baduism, which is I think is like her like
Oh, yeah,
biggest
yeah, yeah, yeah,
album.
yeah. That
Came
was
out in like
Tyrone's
'97,
on there. Yeah, yeah. I think.
and and uh and I was like, fuck it. I put it on, dude.
Yeah, it's great.
Man, I've been missing out. It's
Yeah,
right up my alley.
dude, I saw her in concert.
That's awesome.
It was awesome. Yeah,
That's awesome.
she was a powerful presence, man. It was pretty cool to see her. Pretty cool to fucking see her in concert. It was one year we went to the Lilith Fair. I dug it. I dug it. It was Sarah McLachlan. It was
Oh wow.
Erica Badu. It was Natalie Merchant. It was cool. It was I kind of dug the although we had a fucking DJ here that was big, and I can't even remember his name, and he was doing a thing to give away secret, like, oh, Ryan Seacrest. Even it might have been Ryan Seacrest because he was a DJ before. Yes, it was him, and he was doing this thing where he would come out every so often and hand out shirts, and I saw him, and I knew the station, and I knew who he was. I just didn't give a fuck. But I was like, oh, I want to get my wife a shirt, right? So I went and I said, I want to get my shirt for my wife. He's like, yeah, shirts for your wife. I'm like, dude, not even you. Even if I were desperate for a man, you ain't it, dude. It was the weirdest
Really?
moment.
You wouldn't with Ryan Seacrest?
God no,
Not
God no,
ever?
he's annoying.
Not even if you were desperate for a man.
No, not even, not even.
If who
Sorry, Ryan.
then who would it be? Who would it be?
Oh, Tom Hardy's my man crush, my main man crush.
That's a good one. That's
Yeah,
a good one.
he's the dude's fucking insane. I mean, he's just he's an in. It's weird. Like actually heard people say he's a bad actor, and I'm always kind of like, okay,
I don't
I'm
know.
not gonna really agree with that, but hey, you're free to your opinion.
I feel like
No,
people who say shit like that have only seen him in like Dark Knight Rises and like all the
yeah,
bigger movies, but he's even great in those.
yeah, he
Bane
is.
is actually a good performance. As silly as the voice is, but like if you can get past that, it's great.
It is a good Locke. Bronson.
Bronson,
Oh my
oh,
god. Oh
Bronson
my
is
god.
one of the best, dude. It's one of my favorite movies.
And he's brilliant in Mad Max Fury
Yes,
Road, guys. Come on, stop it, stop. Who? What about you? Who would you go for?
dude. I think anybody that
Brad
knows
Pitt.
me at all is Brad Pitt, dude. Everybody
Yeah,
fucking knows that.
I
It's
knew
the only
that.
reason why I would ever. It's the only reason why I would ever get excited. Well, that's not true, but that's why I was excited to be like, no way, dude. Was I like
That's kind of
sitting
cool.
close to him or whatever? But yeah, that would be that. I think would be the most obvious choice.
Oh, also Paul Bettany. I have a thing. I remember interviewing him, and it was one of those moments where he's such a very powerful presence, and he's very gentle and sweet, but shockingly handsome. Like you just and I
Yeah.
sat in the room with him, and I was like looking at. No, there's two, James Marsden and him are. It's the eyes, man. You got great eyes, and I'll just be like, oh, that's beautiful. That's just beautiful.
Um. Maybe Henry Cavill.
Oh yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Henry Cavill. I like him, but I'm not a huge like. I'm kind of off and on with him. I did because I didn't love the Superman movies. I didn't his Man of Steel. Man of Steel was okay. I didn't like
Yeah, I
the
like
others.
his Superman, but the movies haven't been great.
Yeah, I kind of. I mean, look, Zack Snyder, the guy who directed, obviously he has a fan base that is. I mean, they love his movies, which is why we actually saw a Justice League that was his version of Justice League,
And it
which
was better, to be
well,
fair.
you know what's weird is I don't want that to become a trend because I think it's very dangerous
I don't
that we.
either.
But I will give it and look as a huge I grew up watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I love that show. Joss Whedon's kind of a pig. He's kind of a scumbag. So
Well, plus people seem to forget that the only reason why Zack Snyder had to quit the film was because his kid died.
yeah, it was like a
So
legit reason. It was like
yeah, it's like you're sort of negating that entire reason, which is disrespectful as fuck to him and his family, because
mhm,
it's like he was forced away from this for the worst reason possible.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then, but you want your version because, like, you want these few deleted scenes back in. And it's like, no,
yeah.
dude, nobody
Yeah,
gives a fuck. Like, the one that people that I see coming up now is the Ayer cut of the original Suicide Squad, and I'm like,
yeah.
who? I don't care. And
No,
I like the original Suicide Squad.
did you
You know,
really?
I thought I did. I mean, I don't think it's great, but I
No, it's not
enjoyed it.
great. Yeah.
I had fun watching it, I think. But
It had a couple moments. It wasn't.
yeah, but I
It
didn't. I mean, I like the other one a lot more.
oh my god, dude, the other one is fucking great. It's
Yeah,
one of my favorite films of the year. It was fucking awesome. I mean,
yeah,
I love what James Gunn does to. I love his humor. Jesus
dude.
Christ, I love his
Speaking
humor.
of James Gunn,
Yeah.
you know what two movies I watched recently
What did you watch?
or rewatched? The live action Scooby Doo's,
Why?
produced by James Gunn,
No,
written
I
by
know, I
James
get it, but
Gunn.
they're not good movies. To be
Look,
fair,
let me set something straight,
okay,
okay? Let
let's
me
go.
set
Let's
something
do
straight.
this.
They're great. Okay. I want to
No,
be abundantly no, listen.
no.
Listen when I'm talking, okay?
Okay.
Okay, daddy's going to
He gets
drop
so
some
forceful. Oh my
info on you,
gosh.
okay? So, here's the deal. They have not aged well at all. The CGI is the worst I have ever seen in any movie. But see, here's what saves it though. Here's what saves it.
Sarah
And
Michelle Gellar.
they're not great. She's great, of course.
She's awesome. She's awesome in it.
But also, let's be clear about
And she's
something.
so cute. Oh my god.
The best part of either one of those movies is in the
Uh-huh.
first one when Freddie Prinze Jr. is like, yo, yo, and the biatch was like, what? And I was like, later on. When he's
I'm
like possessed and he's like a bad guy, but for whatever reason, his bad guy is also like hood.
I don't
It's
remember
so
that.
fucking cringe. It's so fucking cringe.
Wow.
Here's the thing. They what those movies do very well is they are very good good bad movies. Well, we've talked
Well,
about this where
yeah, for
I think the
sure.
quality
Sure.
there's a similar quality to a good bad movie as there is to a good movie.
Yeah. Dude, I
So I think that the Scooby Doo movies they're not great and they haven't aged well, but they're worth a rewatch because there's still a lot of fun. They're written well enough to where it's like it's still fun.
mhm.
So much fun, guys. And the other thing that saves it is that every single one of them, which how great is Linda Cardellini?
Yeah, she's phenomenal.
I mean, come
Phenomenal.
on, dude.
Even in movies that are like, she's always so good.
Even in Good Burger,
Yeah,
kills it.
yeah, yeah. You know, I've interviewed her before, right?
Oh man,
She's
she's
cool.
awesome.
She's
She's
way
awesome.
cooler than you would even think. She's like so like
That's
I
awesome.
interviewed her for the La Llorona movie, The Curse of La Llorona, which is
Yeah.
that movie gets a lot of shit. It's not it's got some issues and some weird plot holes that you're just kind of like, wait, how did she get out of jail? Like, how did she get
Hmm.
out? But with that said, Linda makes that movie pretty fucking good. It's a decent movie because of her performance. I bought her. I bought the kids. I When it was on them, when the focus was on them, and she's so fucking fantastic in it, I was like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah, she's really been she's been killing it
She always
over
has.
in like
She,
recent years, you
yeah,
know. And
yeah.
just as far as like how much you see her pop up.
I wish she would
Um,
do more. I wish she would get like because I think she could be like a serious Oscar type contender.
yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. But that's the other thing too is that all of the performances, like all of those guys, is like they all genuinely go for it.
Hmm?
You know, with these
Yeah.
characters,
Oh
they
yeah.
really go for it. Matthew Lillard, I've talked about this. I think
Yeah.
he's very underrated, and he goes for it. He's the only one that actually made Shaggy a career. Like he's voiced Shaggy in like some of the other shows and
Yeah. That's true.
movies, and because he did that great of a job. And to me, he is the only one that is like you can see being Shaggy. The other ones are like they do great and they go for it, but that's what makes it fun. And it's also funny that like it's the same other than Linda Cardellini, it's the same crew from like Summer Catch and or is that Summer? Am I thinking of that? Is that the right one? Summer Catch
I don't know.
and like she's all that and like
Oh
it's
yeah.
like this
Well.
it's this crew
Well.
of people that are all really famous at that specific point in time.
Yeah.
So it's
No.
like the whole movie kind of turns into a time capsule and it's
Yeah, because you had
cool.
Sarah Michelle Gellar, who obviously Buffy, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Freddie Prinze was from that. You had Matthew Lillard. He's in that movie called Scream that no one's heard
Yeah.
of. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was it was a smart movie in a way because they got the right people. They got some really fun people, and they look. James Gunn can write a script, and it wasn't. Uh, to be completely honest, I turned it off and I didn't care. I'm not going to watch those movies.
How
I
dare
couldn't
you?
get into it. It's just it doesn't. I grew up kind of more with the cartoon of Scooby Doo, so I'm just kind of like,
Well, I
eh.
mean, so did I, but and obviously the cartoon is better.
Yeah,
The
for sure. But
cartoon's
even
fantastic,
except when that
but
stupid what the little one shows up, fuck
Scrappy.
him, Scrappy, fuck
Oh
Scrappy,
yeah, yeah. No,
dude.
nobody really. You skip those episodes. You're like,
He's
ugh.
like, it,
It's
I think South Park's Tally was the answer to Scrappy. Because Tally is like such a stupid character. We should have him on the show. The Tal that just gets stoned. And they had an episode of South Park. I'm not liking it lately. I'm not liking the new season at all. I think it's kind of fucking overly. It's just a mess. But they had one at the end of the episode. They're all smoking out with Tally, and Cartman goes, "You're the worst character we've ever had on this show," and he's like, "Yeah, sure am." I love that. I love that
that's
moment.
cool.
That was
That's
that's
cool.
one thing I do like about South Park, even if they have a season that's off or a I like anything else. You have 20 or more seasons. I don't know how long it's been on. It's not going to be good all the time,
I
ever.
mean, how many ideas can you possibly have?
How
Honestly, like
Right?
as someone in that position, COVID is like the best thing that could happen to you
Yeah, I
because
know.
now you
In a
have
weird
something to
way.
talk about that people are willing to look at.
Yeah, yeah, and they've
You
been
know,
doing. I know they've been doing a lot of stuff. I didn't watch the South Park when they grow up or whatever pre
dude,
post
I haven't watched
COVID.
South Park in a very long time. I keep telling myself that I'm gonna like rewatch it and like I guess catch up,
Yeah,
but that's such a daunting
dude,
task.
it's not worth it. It's the season. The later seasons aren't good. They aren't good. They're not. They're. I'm sure there's some people that like them, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's cool if you're into it. That's great. But I tend to still watch a lot of them because like at night I want to chill sometimes, and I'll go through my range of shows, whether it's Impractical Jokers, Family Guy, American Dad, Cleveland Show, but Cleveland Show is never on. Racist.
Yeah, well,
And
it got canceled.
I do like Cleveland show. And then South Park is my last choice because it's like I don't really want to watch South Park all the time, but like sometimes you watch and if it's a new episode, I'll like fucking turn the volume down and like listen to an album or something just to have something on. But like I don't know, I that's my kind of go to when it comes to watching shit when I'm stoned or a movie, the occasional movie.
Yeah, I watched a movie. I think what was it last night? I
What do you watch?
watched I watched Cradle to the Grave
Okay,
with
yeah, yeah,
Jet
yeah.
Li and DMX.
You're watching old shit. Wow, look at
Yeah.
you.
I was just scrolling through HBO Max and I was like, because I watched that movie a lot as a kid.
Hmm.
Um, you know, I mean that's back when like Jet Li was making all of these blockbustery type of movies, and of course even all the way back then I was a fan of DMX, so I watched all of those. Like it was like that one,
They're fun. Yeah,
Romeo Must Die, and Exit Wounds.
yeah, I remember that
Yeah,
one.
and it always had they all like lived in the same universe because they all had Tom Arnold and Anthony Anderson as like the comic relief partners.
Oh my god, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they all those there's like a whole universe of those movies, which is
dude.
silly.
Tom Arnold like responded to a tweet of mine. It was so fucking cool.
It's
Did
crazy.
I talk about this on the show? I
You
feel like I
did,
may have.
you
Fuck
did.
that. Okay, that was cool. But yeah,
That is cool.
I watched.
Yeah, and I gotta be honest, dude. Like, it's a solid. It's another like fun watch.
Yeah,
You know, and like DMX is like a pretty good actor.
yeah. No, a lot of those guys are, dude. A lot of those guys that came out of the rap world, like I think Ice Cube is fucking phenomenal. I think he's great. I love watching him
Man,
on screen.
man, that natural scowl he has is something special.
Dude, I legit like the barbershop movies. I think they're fun.
Yeah,
I like
nah, they're fun. They're fun.
yeah,
They're
they're fun
fun.
and they got charm and they're like I like I like a lot of those guys. I hell I fucking I know it's a little different vein, but I loved Eminem and 8 Mile. I thought it was a great movie.
Oh yeah, no, 8 Mile is an amazing movie,
Yeah, well, I wouldn't go amazing, but it's really
dude.
really
Dude, I mean, that's really like the whole movie is sort of like a testament to his actual ability as a rapper. I mean, I know it's become like corny to like Eminem, but he really is like
I
one of
still
the
like Eminem,
greatest.
yeah.
He
Yeah.
really is one of the greatest. Has so much talent, and people just don't want to admit it for some stupid reason.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's
no, I like 8 Mile a lot.
there's a weird kind of I mean there's always that kind of like when he got real popular and sometimes when you get real popular there's always
Yeah,
backlash.
of
There's I
course. Like when
mean
you get Joe Rogan popular.
yeah or
Yeah,
I mean look I'm kind of sick of seeing The Rock. I've talked about that like he you know because you see him in everything and it's
dude,
I
he's
mean
everywhere.
but he's a nice guy, so I don't care. I was never a Joe Rogan fan to begin with, so I don't care. But I just I don't know, like it's such a bizarre business because no matter, especially I noticed this past couple of years, literally every movie that came out that got like I remember when Suicide Squad came out, there was backlash. People bitched about that. I there literally every movie that came out, people were just bitching about, and it was just kind of like, man, this is kind of depressing. Like, can't we find a little good out there? Like, can't we like oh, dude, I saw a movie and I want to talk about it, but I kind of I don't know if I can. I think there's an embargo, but my God, remind me in a couple weeks because I want to talk about it's a movie with Boyd Holbrook and it was real good. It's a horror movie, so it was you
Hmm.
can I mean you can go on IMDb and figure that out right now, but you know it was really one of the most unique horror movies I've seen in a long time. It's like A24 stuff, except it was Neon, who's also a great. They make a lot of great movies. Neon is a fantastic company, and they've kind of grown in the ranks of A24 as a really smart
You
studio.
know, speaking of A24, there's there's a buddy that I work with who seems to think that Simon Rex got snubbed for his performance in Red Rocket.
Okay.
Would you agree with that?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Simon Rex was okay. He was okay.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
wasn't. I don't think it's that good of a film. Red
Damn.
Rocket. I just don't think it's okay. It's. I don't think it's a bad movie. I didn't care about it. I didn't care about. I thought it was a little, and I get what they were going for. Like Sean Baker is a fascinating director, and he's got. I think I'm saying it's Sean Baker, right? I'm gonna look this up because I don't want to say his name wrong, because I actually legit respect the guy. Like I think he is an interesting force in film. Meanwhile, I'm trying not to be obvious that I'm looking it up, but I
Yo, I got some
just
bullshit on my screen.
I bet you do. I just, yeah, I didn't think it. I just didn't think it. Well, fuck. What did? Oh, hold on. I gotta see what his name is because it doesn't come up. I'm stoned, guys. Leave me alone. Red Rocket, right? Red Rocket. It's directed by um Sean Baker. Yeah. So I just thought it was a little. There's a couple issues I have with the movie. One of the things is so you know about Simon Rex's past, right? How much do you know about that?
I know some.
Okay, so when he started out he was this young kid, 18-year old something, or a little older maybe. He started on MTV VJ back when they actually played music on MTV. That has been decades. And some videos came out that he did of him basically jerking off, and I mean they're absolutely explicit. Cum shot, everything. It's porn. He did
Nice.
porn basically. He did it to, it's just him watching gay porn and him jacking off. So what would have been really ballsy to me for Red Rocket, the thing that they do to his character, they because Simon Rex is not, I don't believe he is gay at all. I think he's completely straight. But they made it so he was just a porn star. And, oh, look, I banged thousands of women, and I'm just like, dude, you jerked out for watching gay porn. I mean, that would have been, I think, more interesting about a dude who goes off who did that kind of porn, goes back to a conservative state in Texas.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, like
So
you're not it's like the movie is like aware of reality, but it's not addressing the elephant in the room.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, look, it's who cares? Nowadays, no one gives a shit about that. No
Yeah.
one gives a. I don't think. Well, I guess some people do, but no one gives a shit. Like whether if an actor gets like I remember when that Jennifer Lawrence, all those the fappening or whatever came out, all
Oh
the
yeah,
pictures,
yeah.
which it was so. That's just leave people alone. Let people.
Yeah.
Don't fucking. She's such a. She. I like how she handled it, but I think it would have been ballsy had Red Rocket been that. Like had they done that. And there's also the whole aspect of he's fucking I think she's 16 and he's like 45 or 50 or whatever. That's kind of gross a little bit. It's
Yeah, yeah. It's like I get it. It's you're kind of it's a commentary on like the area and like the
yeah.
the dynamic of who these people are, but
Mm.
we could also tell that and not have that in there. And also it's like with the way people are now, I mean not that that's ever
I
okay,
think that's why
but
Sean Baker did it, though. I don't. To be fair, I didn't interview him at all. I've never met Sean. He seems like a really nice guy, and he follows us on my Flicks for Fans Twitter page. So
ooh.
woo, I respect him a lot, but I also I just yeah I don't know if he was just trying to be a little shocking, maybe to basically because his last film Tangerine was a trans character and is a leading character, and he doesn't make the really likable characters in his movies,
Yeah,
but
but that's it's like if you're
we
gonna
don't need
do
to.
that, you have to do it in a certain way.
Hmm.
You can't just shoehorn these things in.
I mean, it worked for Tangerine. It worked for his other films, the Florida Project, I believe.
Yeah, but
You know,
like something like that is like You can get your point across and make the kind of movie you want to make without putting that in there. And
For
like,
sure.
no one who matters anyway is gonna like not be uncomfortable for that part of the, which takes away from your enjoyment. Like I get it, it's like the shock value, but it's like it's a shock value that I'd just rather not.
Well, what's funny about it is I don't hear a lot of people complaining about Red Rocket though. Like I don't hear like I don't go on Twitter and or talk to people and go, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe they had that in there." But I hear it for Licorice Pizza all the time, all the fucking time, because she's 25 and he's 15. So it's bizarre how people are freaking out about that movie. Like
I
I've had
think Licorice
critics.
Pizza is just a more popular movie, though.
I think that's probably it. I think
Yeah,
it's got to be. I mean, look, I, what I will say about Red Rocket, I respect. I think it's a good film. I do think it's a good film, and I do think there is something to be said. I don't think Simon Rex deserve he doesn't deserve an Oscar. It's not a. But then again, I kind of think that Oscars are bullshit, anyways. I wouldn't give him a
yeah.
Best Actor of anything. I don't think it's a nice performance. It's a fine performance, but it and that I think that's kind of why I've got such an issue with the awards in general. It's like, how do you say his performance? Like to me, his performance isn't that great, but to your friend, it's like, oh my god, I was moved by that. He was robbed.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I'm like, how come Cyrano didn't get any?
I think he just saw like a fellow bro dude on the screen, and he was like, "Oh," you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Well, I mean, the no one does. Whenever people say, "Oh, they were robbed," or "so and so deserved an award," no one deserves an award. Whatever. Whatever with that. Get over that shit.
Yeah, it's
Just
all just made up anyway.
it's very political. It's very like what people want to see. A lot of times Academy voters won't even watch the movies that they
Yeah.
probably should be watching. And
Well, and it's like these movies that are supposed to be these renowned films that win these awards. I feel like a lot of the time aren't even close to being the highest selling at all these movie
oh, they
theaters.
know very rarely. I mean,
It's like no one's seeing them, so it's like, how
yeah.
good can it be? I don't
Well,
know.
because and that comes back down to the people. I
No,
wish
I
audiences
know.
would like.
I know.
Nomadland won last year, which I really loved. I thought it was a beautiful film, but for 100%, I could see a family going, "Well, what are we going to watch tonight? Nomadland about a homeless lady? No, we're going to watch
Yeah,
Spider Man's out. Let's watch that one." I do understand that too, and to a degree, but I don't. There's enough film lovers out there, like serious film minded people, that I'm. It bums me out when movies don't. Like a little movie like Belfast is a really wonderful film. It's a really really beautiful film about Kenneth Branagh's growing up, and I don't know how much. I think it's making a little bit of money. I think it is doing fairly well because it's a charming fucking movie, man, and it dealing with a serious subject, but it does so with such a vibrant spirit, and it's beautifully shot. Literally every scene, you're like, "Fuck, that could be a goddamn postcard." It's just beautiful. So I I kind of try to find beauty in all that shit, man. I try to, when I saw
that was on
Spider
the
Man
inside.
on the inside, yeah. What are you doing? What's that going on? What are you smoking, by the
I'm
way?
squirting. Oh,
We
I
haven't
am
even talked about
smoking.
that shit.
Yeah, I know. I'm smoking. Dude, first of all, so anybody also one of the things about me that you should know,
Oh yeah.
I mean, whatever. Little fun fact about me: I love candles. I love all that kind of stuff. I love Yankee candles specifically. And a while back, I got these room sprays.
Oh
These
shit.
Yankee Candle room sprays. This is a crisp campfire apples.
Ooh.
Dude, it's fucking so
Wait, so candles
good.
with it? You don't have to light the candles. You
Yeah, it's
can
just a
just
room
spray
spray,
that.
and it's strong. It's
Hey,
strong. Like you don't need
speaking of
much.
candles, check this
It's
out.
so good.
Look at that, man. I
What's
got
that?
candles. I got
Is that is
candles.
Is that Gwyneth Paltrow's pussy candle?
No, it's for I got it for so okay, the for your consideration when they start pushing the awards, a lot of times they will send these beautiful hardbound books of the making of a movie, little weird gifts. So this is from a movie called The Hand of God, which is actually a really beautiful film. I really liked it a lot. Almost made on my top 10. It's just a really pretty family kind of epic drama. And I got this one, which is obviously Paranormal Activity, the last one that they just released, which is Next of Kin, which is it's a movie.
Okay. What
I
is
mean,
that?
it's
A candle?
yeah. This
What
was
does it
good
smell
though.
like?
Pussy.
Smells like ghost pussy.
Ghost, but yeah, ghost pussy. No, it smells like
I've heard. By the way,
good.
I've heard that Gwyneth Paltrow's pussy candle is it just smells like flowers.
She
Like
just drives
she's
me crazy,
like
dude.
it's a very like tongue in cheek kind of thing,
I'm
or if she just
sure.
happens to think that highly of herself, that's like this is what it
She
smells. You know?
probably no, she probably does. She likes
Yeah.
herself a lot. She's big. She's a big Gwyneth Paltrow.
Okay.
At least I get that. You know, it's I met her once, and I was just like, yeah, she likes herself a
Yeah.
lot, a lot. You know. But I was gonna tell you, man. One of the things that I've been doing, I've been kind of going into, kind of like you. I've been kind of experimenting with music, and I discovered an artist I'm really digging, dude. Her
Hmm.
name is Allison Russell, and she I believe she's I'm so high, so I'm forget. I believe she's French Canadian or something. So a lot of times her music will feature a couple of languages, and it's
Hmm.
she's got a couple. She's got a song called "The Runner." Oh my god, it's so good, so catchy. I'm loving her album. I'm really loving her stuff. She kind of she when you brought up Erica Badu, I kind of Allison Russell kind of reminds me of her because she's not your typical pop star. She doesn't come across as just your average, okay, this is what I do. She's got this very unique style about her, especially with music, and she's very beautiful, very attractive woman. Which has really nothing to do with her music, but oh well. Uh,
Wow. You pig.
she's just pretty cute. I know, totally pig. But I've been listening to. I've been kind of discovering new music again, and kind of trying to listen to shit that that's I don't know, a
Yeah,
little out
I don't
there.
know. That kind of for whatever reason, I don't know if it's related at all, but it makes me think of Damien Rice.
I like Damien Rice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know why. But yeah, I also like Damien Rice.
yeah, yeah. I've been I'm dude. I'm so excited about AFI next month. I'm so excited,
Oh yeah.
but I'm sure it's gonna get canceled or fucking I don't know. I'm. Is it weird? Like, okay, let me ask you this: are you still at that phase where you're like, oh, cool, I'm gonna go do this, and hopefully it won't get canceled? Do you still have that in your mind?
No, I mean, when I
Lucky.
started going back, when I started going back to concerts and stuff, like kind of mid to late last year,
Yeah.
into this year, I there wasn't really that threat. It wasn't until Omicron came around that's what really kind of started
Yeah.
shutting all of these shows back down. So it wasn't until recently that I've started thinking that. But then again, I haven't really been seeking out shows lately. I mean, there was a
Yeah.
Tom Segura show, but the only other one that I actually have scheduled and like have tickets for is Red Hot Chili Peppers, and that's not till
Yeah.
like July.
Yeah.
So,
That's
and I'm sure
rough.
I'll go to like one or two in between, but like I don't know. I right now I'm just sort of enjoying not spending a fuck ton of money all the time.
That's
So,
that's kind of look. I so there was a concert I wanted to go to, and I was like, I've never seen her. I wanted to go see Tori Amos because
okay.
I like Tori Amos, and I thought I've seen like videos of her live, and it's pretty fucking cool. I've heard she's amazing live. She's coming out to the Orpheus Theater, Orpheum. I don't know, one of those.
Morpheus? You're
Orpheum.
going to the Matrix to see this show?
Yeah, one of those. It's I don't know. It's one of those theaters, and
Are
it's
you
some.
going to sue or HBO? What's going on? The lawsuit with
No, I'm good with
Matrix?
that. I'm good with the Matrix. No, I thought about going for a second. I thought about, well, maybe I could make it. Maybe I could go. And honestly, like I have the two concerts scheduled. I have AFI and I have Brandy Carlisle. I just I don't want to. I'm kind of like you. It was partially that I didn't. I thought, well, maybe it'll get canceled, and the other part of it was like, you know what? No, I spent so much goddamn money on fucking concerts last year.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
That's
I
just
just
like I mean, I know we talked about it before, but as much as I would love to go to When We Were Young Fest, dude, it's like there's so many.
great.
I mean, and this goes without saying. I mean, this is how everybody feels about it, but it's like there's so many artists there that I fucking love. It's like
Yeah, I know.
it's such an incredible lineup. But it's like first of all, those tickets, because it's a festival technically, are like hundreds of dollars,
Oh my
and then you have to
god.
drive to Las Vegas. Nah.
What are you doing on the phone? Jesus
Um.
Christ.
Well, we got to talking about tickets. I want to see if Erica Badu's on tour, and I'm doing it
I
on the show.
yeah, you should see her.
You know,
She'd be great.
I'm getting fucking disrespectful on you.
Disrespectful
There's nothing,
motherfucker.
dude. There's nothing you can do about it.
I'm gonna.
There's nothing you can do about it.
I'm so good to kick your ass. Oh, dude, I was so annoying last week when I sang that song. God damn it,
Huh?
that was fucking annoying. Remember,
I
I
don't even
sang
remember.
"Birthday to You," the Sugar Cube song, and it was horrible. We were so fucking high, like from the get go last week. Oh my fucking god! So
Oh
is
yeah,
she?
no, that one, no, that one was bad. I mean, I think I said like 20 minutes into it, like this, this is gonna be a short one, you
Yeah,
know.
I think we were both. It was a weird time, but like I think we are both pretty like. Now I want to know: is she coming out or not?
Well, it looks like um, she's gonna be at some festival in
Oh,
LA.
okay.
Now I'm looking at maybe I'm interested in the festival. It's called Smokin' Grooves.
Oh yeah, yeah. Who's playing it?
Um, let me see here. Where's a poster?
Oh Jesus Christ! This is a mess.
Is this the full? We got Erica Badu. She's headlining.
Oh,
You got Nas. I would love to
oh,
see Nas. I would
okay.
love to see Nas. You got the Roots. You
Hmm.
got Thundercat. Thundercat's awesome. Flying Lotus is great. The internet's good too.
Yeah.
I'm not too
Yeah.
familiar with them. So it's like, but then again, it's like the only two, the because you got to think of it like who would I see on their own tours, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I would really only see, I would see Nas and I would see Erica Badu. So it's like, am I going to pay like festival prices just to see two people? I'm already seeing Thundercat open for Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah. You know what's? I am waiting on one other concert. One other concert I didn't get to go to. We bought tickets before this fucking bullshit pandemic. It's for Pearl Jam. We
Oh,
still supposedly have those tickets whenever they decide to come out to
and they
LA.
haven't announced anything.
Nothing, nothing. They
That's
they were doing
shitty.
this long ass European tour, and it wasn't cheap, dude. I'm like, and what bums me out, and I don't want to bitch too much because I actually really like Pearl Jam. Like I really think they're great, and
Yeah,
I got a lot of
they are.
respect for them. I think
Yeah.
Eddie's a smart guy, but I just look back to when they kind of first started, and a lot of people probably don't know this. They kind of waged a war against Ticketmaster in the years and years ago, and because they wanted to keep their ticket prices cheap. That was their goal.
Oh,
They would always.
yeah.
I think when I was like really young, I saw them for like $20. Like it was ridiculous. It was like and it was a major battle because they were trying to say that Ticketmaster was a monopoly. They are, and it was just they're trying to kind of cut out the service fees and all that kind of stuff. It didn't go well. No one really worked with them. No one really got on their side and said, yeah, you know what, let's keep the prices cheap. And I don't know, slowly but surely I would see Pearl Jam come out and they're like, oh yeah, the tickets are only 150 per person. I'm like,
No,
really,
dude.
guys? do you
That's
do you
like a
have to go to
festival. You could go to
yeah,
a festival for that and see like 20 bands.
yeah, and it's I mean, I would love to see them again. I would let my kid's never seen them. I would like to take him, but I'm just kind of like I'm looking forward to it, and because I still, Eddie has a new solo album. I know that's the problem. He's doing a tour now, so I'm like, are you ever gonna fucking can you give us our show?
Yeah, and there's no option to like refund.
I I don't know. It's because I got it through the forum, and they like hold on to that shit. So I don't even have tickets. And I called them like I think I'm you know what I'm gonna fucking call them again. I'm gonna say,
Yeah, you should.
hey, so are we still? What's going on with that? But because I know my boy really wants to see him, so I'm like I kind of don't want to get rid of him. I want to hold on to him. But I'm like it's kind of getting a little bit. Wait, so are you guys going to come out? Is there anything happening here? It would be
Yeah,
nice.
and by now you've probably made the money back to just buy them outright again if you had to.
To an extent, yeah. So I don't know, man. I'm a little bit of a person that like I don't want to rock the boat. I don't like to do that. Like I'm not big on like unless it's like something I really really believe in. And I'm not like it was. I think the tickets were like maybe 100. They weren't that bad considering, I guess.
Dude, I paid like $230 to see Blink 182 and A Day to Remember because it was at and I'm gonna forget the name of it.
Jesus.
It's an amphitheater that's like just outside of Chicago. It's like the famous. God damn it! It's gonna make me look it up
Jesus
because
Christ.
now it's gonna bother me.
Yeah. No, that's okay. That's what technology is for, man.
Um, but sorry,
That's all
I
right.
uh,
Disrespect the
I
record.
really wanted to go to the show,
Mm.
but it was like way too late, and those shows sell out so fucking quick, especially good seats or general admission. And I was like, fuck it. I was still living at home. I was working full time. I had the money, so I was like, fuck it. And that also happened to fall on the same weekend that I got my first like acting gig.
Oh,
I
okay.
when I was in that pilot, like that my reel is from.
Yeah.
So and that was an
Freaking
amazing
real, man.
weekend because I that Friday, I drove to Chicago that Friday. Um, was the show, which is the dude. I thought like, oh, it's gonna be like one of these first ones.
Wait, was this Blink 182 with Tom or was it with Matt?
It was Matt. It
Okay,
was
okay.
Matt. It was the tour for California.
Dude, I saw that tour. You know how much my tickets were for that show? $35.
What?
35 bucks. And we had
Well,
great
you.
seats.
Now I was gonna say no. You sit in the fucking way back.
No, this we
I
had
was on
great
the
seats. We
floor.
were literally here was the little section in front. We were right in back of that in front. 35 bucks.
I think it's the Hollywood Casino one. It's in Tinley Park. It's in
Okay, that
Tinley
one.
Park.
Yeah, no, that one I did not see.
It's in Tinley Park. But
There you
anyway, um, but it was super last minute. It was like it was scalper prices, you know.
go. Oh yeah, yeah.
So, but I was like, fuck it, and I drove all the way. But so that Friday I went to go see that show, and then that Saturday I got a hotel room in Schaumburg, which is a suburb of Chicago. Very beautiful town. Um, they have a big mall there. I spent the day at the mall and like hung out in the hotel room because I had like an extra day. And then that Sunday is when I drove to the filming location too. Because I
Oh.
was like, there's no point in me driving back and then driving here the next day. I just got a hotel room
Mm.
for the weekend. So, but that was an extremely exciting weekend. A lot going on.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
God, I miss like
and it's been downhill since.
that's no. Honestly, though, I gotta say I've been kind of enjoying this. It's funny because remember when I called you and I said, "Hey, dude, my life's about to change. I'm gonna be kind of taking care of my wife, making sure she gets better, and kind of changing." I'm not gonna lie, I kind of dig this Mr. Mom thing a lot. I it's pushing
It's a
me to
simple life.
It's simple, yeah. And I'm
Yeah.
still working. I'm not reviewing much right now, and I my bosses have been really cool about like letting me have space and letting me, But I will say that I'm looking forward to getting back to work, but at the same time, I'm not pushing really hard. I'm still kind of my priorities are going to be here, and I'm really kind of valuing the experience because look, I'm almost embarrassed that I can't cook that well, and that I'm not. It's just I don't have the patience. That's my ultimate thing. I don't like to cook because I don't have the patience for it.
Yeah.
And now I'm finding like the enjoyment of it, and it's weird. I like legitimately like kind of feeling like helpful. I like that
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah.
So I think there's a weird kind of I don't know. It's a strange. I'm doing something that you should never do in an interview is but we're doing a podcast. I don't give a fuck. And it's called something Stony. I I'm liking my life right now. I'm liking this kind of the quiet. I'm liking the
Hmm.
not necessarily being out and about, not necessarily kind of going out to shows or going to screenings every night. Or I'm really kind of enjoying.
Maybe the Hollywood life isn't really for you anymore.
I know. I think sometimes you just need a break.
Oh,
I
well, yeah, for sure.
look. I'm excited to go back. Like I'm excited. I've got, like I said, I've got a couple of interviews coming up that I'm really happy to do, and I'm really excited. I got one. Oh, dude, I can't say what it is, but you're gonna fucking love it. You're gonna be jealous. I feel like you're gonna be jealous, and I'm pretty sure you're fans of a lot of people I'm gonna be talking to. But I shouldn't be
Okay.
talking to it now, but I'll talk to you later. After it happens, I'll let you know. I'll let you know how it is. But
Can you say who they are, or
I don't think I can because it would give it away. Like if you
what
know
is?
the show, it's a TV show. It's a TV show. I guess fuck it. I can't. I guess
And it's a bunch of people that I would be a fan of.
I feel. Have you ever? Okay, fuck it. I think I can say it. I'm. Looks like I'll be doing interviews for the Reno 911. The new
Oh, that's
seat. This
cool.
this new kind of, and there's some great people. Joe Latruglio. Oh, I think I just butchered his name. Niecy
I well,
Nash.
no, I it's a hilarious show. I didn't
Yeah.
watch it. I didn't watch it very much though. My
Okay.
favorite thing was always Nick Swardson when he did Terry,
Oh yeah, yeah.
the
Okay.
gay roller skating prostitute.
It's a show I haven't watched all of, but I like the show and I like the talent behind it. It's funny how
Terry.
you do that very well.
Thanks.
That's impressive. You should do that
Thanks.
more often. You should do that way more often. You know what's weird? I think I've been I went through I'm trying to hybrids a lot when we do the show. I tried it tonight.
That's good.
I'm it's a good kind of high for what we're doing. I'm just kind of in a good place with it.
Yeah,
Um,
I always lean towards hybrids just because depending on how high strung I already might be, a
mhm.
sativa can sort of give me some anxiety. But so I always lean towards indicas, especially just because the whole reason I got into weed in the first place was my anxiety. So
Yeah.
I always have to have some level of indica. So I usually go for a hybrid, but a straight indica will just put you to sleep. So
I know. I like it. I'm trying a new sleep thing tonight because I that's one thing that kind of died out with the stress and everything going on is my sleep. I had a little harder time falling asleep just because I was a little worried of, with
oh yeah,
everything going on.
sure.
But I had to get pretty fucking baked to actually get to sleep. So I was trying a few different concoctions, and I think I found a pretty good mix of stuff to take, and I'm enjoying the dude. I fucking love edibles so goddamn much.
Yeah, all of it's great. All of it's great.
Yeah, it's
10
why
out of 10 would recommend, and that's the show.
that's the
That's
show.
all we
That's
have to
it.
say. So we have to talk
Are
about.
we done?
I
Are
think
we?
we're done. I think we're
Yeah,
done. Yeah.
yeah. I think so. I
Um.
think it's a good place.
Well, thank you all for joining us on
Yeah.
tonight's journey. It's been a pretty chill time as always.
Mhm.
Um, if you'd be so kind to like, comment, rate, review, share, subscribe on all of the appropriate mediums, that would be fantastic. It takes a moment of your time, and it means the world to us. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. You can follow me on primarily on Instagram at JustinButts94. You can also follow me on my Twitch, which I got some extra time this week. I might do a couple of streams at least because thanks to old Covey Wovey, I am off a week
We didn't
from
talk about
work.
that. Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah, my work got shut down, so I got a little vacation. So might be popping up on the Twitches here pretty soon. Um, so yeah, twitch.tv/Justin_Butts. You can also follow me on Twitter. I guess I'm on that sometimes. Uh, at Justin_Butts 94. It's your boy JB the Bass God. What about you, Jimmy?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter, Jimmy to the O. You can find me at joblo.com. We live entertainment, sometimes arrow in the head, and at some point we will have a new Sound Scary. But yeah, and I don't. What
Dude,
else?
I saw
Facebook?
I didn't say anything, but I saw Ryan the other day.
Oh wait, when?
He came into my store.
Oh shit! Oh
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. I called out his name, and I saw him, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, that's Ryan Kutcher. And then he went outside, and I was like, still looking at him. And then his wife or girlfriend?
Oh girlfriend, yeah.
Girlfriend, yeah. His girlfriend like came up, and I recognized her, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, I should have said something. So yeah,
We
cross
should have
cross
him on
paths
soon. We should have
cross
him on.
paths with that boy. I
Yeah,
like I like that boy.
he's a good dude. I like him. All right, man. Yeah, this is and yeah, of course, thanks for joining everyone. Like give us a like. I think you mentioned this earlier, but it never hurts to say it again. Drop a like, share, say something nice. Just don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
No, then they're going to
Thanks
be an
for
asshole. Just say
yeah.
something.
Be an
Sure.
asshole. We can take it. We're
Yeah, we
fucking
can take it. We're
adults.
fine.
But
Well,
thanks for coming on our journey and getting weird with us because that's what we do. And thank you all for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye.
bye.